Right, so today we're going to show you the Simlab. Super simple and really powerful. So if I'm going to make a tall block just to show you the commands. So I'm going to lift it in the air and I'm going to rotate it slightly and then go to the Simlab. So if I just play this, it would fall down and topple over. So we're actually going to make it pivot. So if you use axle, so we're going to make it spin on an axle. So you bring the axle over. Now, depending where you place it, will change the direction it rotates. So if I click it there and I hit play, it will swing like a pendulum. Um, And if I go back to modeling, I can click on the pivot and we've got a new feature called motor type. So I'm just going to show you continuous today. You can set the torque, which is the amount of power that it will actually drive, and you can set the RPM. So now if I go to Simlab play, it's just going to keep going around. Let's have a look at some of the other ones. So I'm going to do two at the same time here. So I'm going to bring a cone in, lift it up, and I'm also going to bring a cylinder in and go to the Simlab. The first one I'm going to show you. So the first one I'm going to show you is pivot, the third one down, and we doesn't really matter where you put it. You can rotate the axis if you want to, but I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to get this one is called the slider. This one's the pivot. This one's the axle. So the slider, if I change the angle slightly, make it go down, it's going to respond to gravity. The pivot, you can actually go back here and check the variables on the pivot. So I can change the angle. I'm going to make it straight. So I go to the right view and then to the front view and rotate it so it is straight, up and down. Go back to here and I've zoomed out. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, first of all, I got to rotate this slightly. So it's not going to swing around unless I actually do that. Okay, so let's see. Rotate, zoom in a little, and play. And the slider stops, and this is just wiggling a bit. So if you go back to modeling, you click on the pivot, you can see you can change the cone angle. Furthermore, you can actually move the pivot just like you could a block. So if I then move this guy over here, we can do that. Now this one stopped. The reason, so the slider, you can actually change the upper and lower limit. So we want that limit. I'll just stop it there so you can see. So we go to play and hit play, and we have the pivots. You can do cool things like get this to hit this and so on. Finally, the final tool. If you are in the Simlab, you will notice there is this little guy called Tracer. And this is like putting a little pen on the object. So let's see what happens now. So we go play, and you can actually change the colors of those traces. So the way that works, let's make this one orange and this one red. So we got blue, red, and orange. And hit play. And there are the traces. So you can do complex machines, you make something up, have fun.